Although I want it so much that it's more than just physical lust. 'Cause love should never be rough. Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm here with Brett from Australian Concert Productions, and over the next 6 episodes, we're going to be looking at live sound. Brett, what have we got going on here? It seems like a fairly basic setup, yeah?
Yeah, well, this is pretty much as basic as you can get. We've just got a microphone, instrument, a couple of speakers, and a mixer to put it all together.
Okay, fantastic. And for setting up for something bigger, say a full band,
Yep.
How would we go about that?
It's pretty much the same thing, just expand it out. We got bigger speakers, more microphones, more instruments, and a bigger mixer.
Okay, great. And we got something like that happening tonight, yeah?
Yeah, we're going to be putting on a band tonight. So, yeah, would you like to come out to the factory and see how we put things together?
Let's go have a look at it, yeah.
Okay,
Sounds great.
Let's do it.
Now, we've just arrived at Australian Concert Productions. Brett, we've got a set up for a gig tonight. What sort of stuff have we got here at Australian Concert Productions?
Yeah, we've got all types of gear here for all sorts of events. We can handle everything from your small one-man band to to large stadium gigs.
So we've got a set up for this gig tonight. What are we going to be taking with us, and what's the difference between the gear that we can take?
All right. Well, in front of us here we've got the analog desk and digital desk. For an example, we're going to use the digital for front of house and the analog for monitors, and we're also going to take we're doing loud bands, so we're going to take some big speakers with us as well.
Fantastic. And what's the difference between the two?
All right. Well, obviously the first thing you can see is that the analog gear is a lot more. Like we've got 2 racks here, and we can do all of that just inside this one little desk here. And in fact, this digital desk can do a lot more than those racks. And with all the wiring and stuff that goes along with the analog, it just makes a much more compact form factor.
So Brett, is there any difference in sound quality between the two?
No, not these days. Not anything that the average person wouldn't hear anyway. The bit rates are very high on the digital consoles, so it doesn't make much of a difference to sound quality.
So can you tell us a little bit more about the PA we're taking with us tonight?
Okay, yeah. Well, we're taking two subs and 2 top boxes aside, so that's 4 subs altogether and 4 top boxes. And of course we're going to need amplifiers to run that. We're going to need microphones as well to mic up the band. What else are we taking today? We'll be taking some lights and all the wiring and stuff that we're going to need to hook everything together.
What else do we need to take into consideration when setting up for a gig?
Well, when setting up for a gig, we need to think of lots of things. We need to think of the size of the venue. We need to think of how many people we're catering for. We need to think of what equipment we actually have available. We need to think of the band's budget as well, or whoever's footing the budget, because we need to make sure that it can fit into their requirements.
So Brett, tonight we're setting up for an indie rock band called The Clues. Have we got everything we need?
Yep, I believe so. We've got our consoles, we've got our racks, we've got our amps, we've got our speakers, we've got all our cables and mics and everything that we need. I think we've got everything.
Fantastic, so time to load up?
It's time to load up.
Okay guys, so we've made it to the venue, the Barra Bar at the Springwood Hotel. Brett, what have we got to keep in mind when unloading this stuff?
All right, as always, when lifting heavy gear or moving any heavy gear at all, you've got to look after yourself. Don't try and be a hero, there's always hands available. There's always wheels as well, so put your heavy stuff on the wheels. And as always, when lifting with heavy stuff, use your knees, not your back. And yeah, just look after yourself.
Common sense,
Yeah,
no
common
worries.
sense.
Well look, let's get this stuff unloaded.
Okay.
Okay Brett, now we've arrived at the gig, we've got everything unloaded. What do we need to do next?
Okay, first thing we need to do, we need to find the 3-phase power for our 3-phase distro.
Okay, great. And why is it we need 3-phase power?
Okay, main reason, your normal 240 sockets only put out 10 amps, okay? This thing will handle up to 32 amps and it splits it into all different circuits as well.
Okay.
Another thing there as well is that a three-phase it should be on a separate circuit to the rest of the power of the venue, so that gives us clean power, so isolates our ground loops from from their lights or fridges and stuff like that. So if anything puts a hum into the ground, using separate three-phase power should isolate it and not then prevent noise going into our PA and stuff like that.
Okay, great. And is there anything else we need to take into consideration before we start?
In regards to power, what we have to make sure that all the stuff that we use is test and tagged, because we're working in a public venue, so anything that's electrical and used in a public place has to be tested and tagged.
Okay, we've loaded everything in, we've located our three-phase power, and everything's tested and tagged. So we'll see you guys next episode for when we continue setting up for the gig. Okay guys, welcome back. Now, what's been your experience with performing live and live sound, and what do you guys always look out for when setting up and getting ready for a show?
Every venue is different. That's what you got to realise.
Yeah.
So
every sound dude's different,
You might have the best gig the last week, and then you go to the same place and play the same gig, and it's horrible.
Yeah.
The things you got to look out for. You got to make sure you can hear yourself on stage, obviously.
I think that's the main one.
That's the main thing.
Yeah, especially the drummer. The drummer has to be able to hear himself.
If the drummer can't hear himself or us, then it's a lot easier for him to go out. In general, any drummer.
Yeah, definitely. And have you guys ever been in any situation playing live where things have, something big has come up, a big problem?
There's been a few.
Anybody can't hear what we're doing. And then you sort of look at each other and go, what the hell's going on here? The only thing you can do is keep playing, you just can't stop.
Yep.
You never can just stop in the middle of a song. Unless all four of you do. And that's it. Next song.
But that's the end of the song. This is the new song.
Exactly.
And I mean, do you guys, sort of talk about making sure you prep things so that you minimise the risk of that sort of stuff happening?
The whole point of practicing and jamming is so that you get all your little tidbits out in the jam room, so that when you get on stage, you can do your performance. You shouldn't have to be thinking up on stage. You should just know what you're doing. Go in a rock out mode straight away.
Enjoy it and sort of let the sound guy.
So you can do your stuff ups in the jam room and get that out of the way. So,
if you can think of one moment, when's the the biggest problem ever occurred?
I think I was too drunk to remember that one.
Just like guitar leads going out, the one when you smash your guitar, that was a good one. His finger, after the first song, he cut his finger and his whole hand was bleeding all over the guitar. That was good.
Cool. That kind of got everyone, going crazy.
When you got a white guitar, it looks cool.
Definitely.
But it stopped us for a good 5-10 minutes trying to...
Get at the bandages and band-aids and get yourself back on there, or was it just I'll fix this with more beer?
Yeah, pretty much.
He took his time.
Which doesn't, work at all.
No.
Just, more comes out. It sucks to clean.
This is true. Well, I suppose it's that's why you jam, that's why people practice, and that's why bands make sure they've got things together before that sort of stuff happens. But
definitely,
you can't always.
Though it is funny if you see a band and they don't have it together on stage, but it's not funny for the band who's playing.
No,
it's funny for the audience maybe, but you feel like crap if you play a bad gig. That's for sure.
That's for sure.
And they always say that you're only as good as your last gig. So
that's very true. Okay guys, well we'll see you after the break for a few tracks from Ironbird's live set.